Imagine being a young girl full of life, curiosity, and dreams. Sarah Sharif is the story of that girl who was killed by her barbaric father. The story of Sarah Sharif is an urgent reminder how vulnerable our children are and how important it is to save them. I feel everyone failed Sarah, her guardian. Her dad, who was supposed to be her protector, actually killed her to death. Society, her school, her teachers, the childcare services, her relatives, her own mother. This is a very sad story. I would say it's one of the saddest story I have shared. So if you are of a weak heart, I would not recommend you watching this video. 10-year-old starved, tortured, and beaten to death by her own father. She was burned with an iron, bitten, starved, beaten with a cricket bat, had a plastic bag taped over her head, and had suffered more than 70 injuries before she was found dead in her home in Surrey, UK. After killing her to death, her father left the country immediately and went to Pakistan with Sarah's stepmother and her uncle. So I'm going to share his 911 call that he made from Pakistan.
Take a deep breath and tell me what's happened.
I cannot. I physically punished my daughter and she died. I left home in a panic. God, she is allowed at home.
I need you to take a breath because I cannot understand what you're saying, okay? Your daughter has died.
I killed my daughter.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Can you go to number 6, the Hammond Road, please?
Okay, don't worry.
My daughter is dead. I left her.
Who's killed your daughter?
It's me.
Okay.
Father.
How?
I said she was naughty after the teacher side.
I'm going to need you to slow down, okay? How have you killed your daughter?
I beat her up. It wasn't my intention to kill her, but I beat her up too much. Can you send someone? My daughter is in love.
Yes, yes, don't worry. Nothing's going to be slowed down, okay?
I'm gonna hand over myself.
Okay, I need you to slow down, okay? What led to this all happening?
I think she was naughty over the last 3-4 weeks and I was giving her punishment that she to sort her out. And just I did something and she died.
Was she breathing when you left?
No, she was not. I tried to resuscitate her, tried to give her CPR, everything, but I failed. I left in panic.
This happened 36 hours ago?
Yes. I'm a cruel father.
Where are you right now?
I'm not around. I'm gonna come back.
So you're driving right now?
I'm driving. I'll come back.
So it's just a very sad situation when he's saying she was naughty, but like the punishment he was giving. So she was found a week before her death. She has actually a neck fracture, and she had a couple of fracture of her bones, and she was having difficulty breathing. Her stepmother sent some WhatsApp messages to her sister, and she was absolutely terrified by how much her husband was beating Sarah, her husband who was Sarah's father. So I'm going to share those messages. First, let's watch the injuries Sarah endured before she passed away.
The Sarah Sharif murder trial has heard more harrowing evidence on the catalogue of injuries the 10-year-old suffered before her death in August last year. A bone damage expert said he found evidence of a fracture in Sarah's neck that happened 6 to 12 weeks before her death, and 2 fractures in her left hand from 12 to 18 days earlier. Her father, Irfan Sharif, stepmother Bainash Batul, and uncle Faisal Malik all deny her murder.
This is the trial of the murder of Sarah Sharif. Today, the jurors were shown WhatsApp messages sent by Sarah's stepmother to her sister. These were sent in the run-up to Sarah's death last year. In one message from 2021, this stepmother said that Sarah's father had been beating her. She said how Sarah was bruised. She said how she had been, quote, beaten black. So some really harrowing details. Also, we learnt that this sister of Sarah's stepmother blocked her on WhatsApp the day after Sarah's body was found last year. This trial continues for the next few weeks, and the prosecution's case expected to conclude in the next few days.
Out of Sarah. He beat her up like crazy. The court also heard how she sent text messages with pictures of her bruised stepdaughter and was allegedly told to delete them by her sister.
So the trial is going on right now. Actually, there's another video about more detail of WhatsApp messages, and I'm going to try to look for it so I can share. But I do remember what the stepmom was messaging her sister. She said that the dad is completely crazy and she's actually scared for Sarah's life. Sarah fainted in the morning. She's unable to even breathe well, and she was even thinking about reporting authorities. So everything, I hope, get more clear during this trial. So no one in the family wore hijab, but Sarah, who's only 10-year-old, started wearing hijab, but she was wearing it to conceal all the bruises. Let's watch.
Sarah Sharif began to wear a hijab to school to conceal injuries to her face and head, a court has heard. The 10-year-old was found dead by police at a house in Woking last year. Her dad, stepmom and uncle are on trial accused of her murder. After Sarah's death, they fled to Pakistan, and her dad dialed 999 to say he beat her up, legally punished her, and she died. Now, a neighbour has come forward to say she noticed Sarah starting to wear a hijab months before her death. She found it unusual, as the rest of her extended family at the address didn't wear one. All three of Sarah's family members deny murder.
A lot of people have questions, where was the biological mother? And me being a mother is usually very protective over her children, more so than the father. So I had the same question, and a TikToker has some information.
You're certainly not alone in asking this question, Rosie. So many of us are asking ourselves this. I think we have to be careful because obviously I don't know the full truth. From what little I've heard from media, the mother had some difficulties with substance abuse, i.e. alcohol. She lost custody of her daughter but had visitation rights every fortnight, and I suspect that maybe she was blocked from that by Binish and her husband Irfan, suggesting that she was not fit to see her daughter. You know, you can start to question the motives of the perpetrators, can't you? I believe the family was known to social services, so I don't know how the perpetrators managed to dissuade the social service from taking further action, removing the child. They must have been pretty good at presenting a facade. What we've got to remember is that the biological mother is not accused of anything. She's not in the stand, hence not a suspect in this situation. And maybe she will be asked to trial for giving evidence. I don't know. I know that apparently she saw her daughter at her death and said that she was unrecognizable because of the extent of injuries to her body and the bruising, which is very, very sad. I think the mother may have her own challenges that she might be contending with and wasn't playing as much of a role in her daughter's life, which gave the perpetrators even more freedom and space to do whatever they wanted to do. So not so capable of putting up as much of a fight as she perhaps ought to have as the parent.
At this point, every single person who knew about the abuse and didn't do anything should be charged. There should be no mercy, be it the neighbors, the social services, the school, the relatives. Every single one should be charged. No child should suffer the way this child suffered. I need to see the justice this sweet girl deserves. Then replies, social services interviewed Sarah 1 year before her death and saw bruising all over her body. They allowed father to continue to abuse this little girl for 1 year. This is typical of UK social services. Actually, USA social services is not very different, and kids die in the hand of their parents very frequently. So I don't think the neighbor should be charged, but they definitely have very big responsibility for contacting authorities. They may have, I don't know if they did, but social services should be charged. They should have some kind of repercussions, because they were aware of what's going on, and even her school. So her school was concerned about her bruises, and then she started covering herself, and then she stopped coming. They started to homeschool her. Her condition was so bad, and school didn't do anything. So everyone is responsible, and that's the reason I'm making this video, that we have a responsibility to see these children, and we all have to collectively protect them. If some parents are not capable of protecting them, the community, the school, neighbors, everyone is responsible for protecting them.